The Boeing 747 is back. The plane everyone thought was dead is flying again, but this time it's faster, smarter, and crazier than ever. From secret airline deals to billion-dollar VIP upgrades, this comeback is insane, and you're about to find out why the Queen of the Skies is ruling the air again. But before we talk about how this comeback happened, we need to rewind and see why everyone thought the Boeing 747 was gone forever. For years, people thought the Boeing 747 was done for. It had been around since the late 1960s, and for decades it ruled the skies as the Queen of the Skies. But as time passed, airlines started replacing them with newer, more fuel-efficient planes. Twin-engine jets like the Boeing 777, the 787 Dreamliner, and Airbus A350 became the new favorites. They could fly almost as far as the 747, but used less fuel and cost less to maintain. Airlines are always looking to save money, so it made sense to retire the older 747s. The big shock came during the pandemic. Air travel dropped to its lowest point in history, and many airlines decided it was the perfect time to phase out their biggest planes. British Airways, Qantas, and others sent their 747 fleets into retirement early. Photos of them being parked in deserts or dismantled at aircraft graveyards went viral online. For aviation fans, it felt like the end of an era. On top of that, Boeing itself announced in 2020 that it would stop making the 747 in 2023. This was like a final nail in the coffin. The production line that once rolled out these massive double-deckers would be shutting down after more than 50 years. People assumed the remaining planes would only survive for a few more years in cargo service before disappearing completely. There was also a cultural shift. Travelers now prefer direct flights between smaller airports instead of connecting through large hubs. The 747 was designed for carrying hundreds of people on long-haul routes between big cities, so this change in travel habits made it less practical. But just when everyone thought the Queen of the Skies was gone for good, Boeing dropped a game-changing surprise that nobody saw coming. Boeing took lessons from its modern jets and applied them to the 747, creating a hybrid of classic design and advanced technology. First, the engines have been completely updated. The new model uses next-generation turbofans that are much quieter and more fuel-efficient than the older ones. These engines not only burn less fuel, but also produce fewer emissions, helping the plane meet stricter environmental rules. They're also designed to last longer before needing major maintenance, which saves airlines a lot of money. The wings have also been reworked. Boeing added new winglets that improve aerodynamics and reduce drag. This means the plane can fly farther on less fuel, making it possible to handle ultra-long routes without extra stops. For passengers, that means fewer layovers and faster trips. Inside, the cabin has been transformed. The lighting is now mood-based, changing colors to help passengers adjust to different time zones. The air filtration system is upgraded to keep the cabin fresh and reduce jet lag. Seat layouts have also been modernized. Even economy passengers get more personal space, while premium cabins have private suites, larger beds, and upgraded entertainment screens. Technology plays a huge role in the cockpit too. The new 747 comes with an advanced avionics suite, touchscreen controls, and AI-assisted flight management. These systems help pilots operate more efficiently, avoid turbulence, and even save fuel by adjusting routes in real time. Cargo capacity has also improved. The new model has a redesigned nose-loading system that allows it to carry larger and heavier items than before, and this keeps the 747 relevant for freight operators, especially those transporting oversized goods. And you won't believe how this upgraded monster ended up back in the skies, all thanks to some secret airline orders Boeing kept hidden from the world. These weren't small airlines either. We're talking about big national carriers and special charter operators who saw a unique opportunity. Some of these orders came from airlines in countries where air travel demand is exploding. In regions like the Middle East and Asia, more passengers are flying than ever before, and airports are struggling to keep up. Big planes like the 747 can carry more people per flight, which helps airlines deal with high demand without adding more departures. Cargo airlines also played a role. During the pandemic, the demand for air freight skyrocketed, and the 747's huge cargo space made it a star player. Some operators realized that even after the pandemic, e-commerce and global trade would keep cargo needs high. They quietly approached Boeing about producing a modernized 747 that could serve both passengers and freight. Another twist came from VIP and government customers. Some countries wanted custom 747s for official travel. Think Air Force One style luxury. These orders aren't talked about much in public, but they can be worth hundreds of millions of dollars each. What's interesting is how these orders were kept quiet. Boeing didn't announce them right away because they didn't want to create hype without being sure the program was viable. Instead, they started work in secret, making design changes and testing components before confirming the comeback publicly. Once enough orders were locked in, Boeing made the surprise announcement, and that's when the aviation world went wild. Many thought the 747 would only survive as a museum piece, but these behind-the-scenes deals proved otherwise. And flying in the new Boeing 747 is nothing like flying in the old ones. Sure, the plane still has that iconic hump and double-deck layout, but inside, it feels like stepping into the future. Boeing knew that if they wanted passengers to fall in love with the 747 again, they had to make the experience unforgettable. And the first big change is space. Even in economy class, there's more legroom, wider seats, and better reclining angles. The aisles are slightly wider too, which makes moving around easier. No more awkward sideways shuffling when the food cart comes through. Lighting is another huge upgrade. The cabin now uses mood lighting that changes gradually during the flight. It can simulate sunrise, daylight, sunset, and even a starry night, helping passengers adjust to different time zones. This reduces jet lag and makes long flights feel less exhausting. The entertainment systems have also leveled up. Every seat, even in economy, has a large high-resolution screen with hundreds of movies, shows, and games. The touchscreens respond quickly, and there are USB and wireless charging ports so passengers can keep their devices powered throughout the trip. For premium passengers, this new 747 is a dream. Business class offers private suites with sliding doors, lie-flat beds, and direct aisle access. First class is even more luxurious, with larger rooms, upgraded dining, and personalized service. Some airlines using the new 747 even have onboard lounges where passengers can socialize, enjoy snacks, or just stretch their legs in style. The air quality is better too. Boeing installed advanced filtration systems that refresh the air more often and keep humidity at a comfortable level. This makes a big difference on a long-haul flight where dry air usually leaves passengers feeling tired and dehydrated. Even the bathrooms have been redesigned. They're bigger, cleaner, and some even have touchless features to improve hygiene. Small touches like this show that Boeing and the airlines really thought about passenger comfort. But it's not all about comfort, because there's one huge group of people who aren't happy about the 747's comeback at all. In fact, environmental groups have been some of its loudest critics. Their main argument is simple. The 747 is a big plane, and big planes use more fuel. Even with upgrades, they say it can't match the fuel efficiency of smaller, newer jets like the Boeing 787 or Airbus A350. Critics point out that aviation is already under pressure to cut carbon emissions. Adding more 747s to the skies, they argue, could slow progress toward climate goals. Some environmental activists have even called the comeback a step backward for sustainable flying. They worry that airlines might choose the 747 for its passenger capacity and cargo space, but ignore the long-term environmental cost. Boeing, however, has pushed back against this criticism. The company says the new 747 is far more efficient than older versions, with engines that burn less fuel and produce fewer emissions. They also highlight that a single 747 flight can replace two smaller jets on the same route, which might reduce overall fuel burn per passenger. There's also a debate about how to measure a plane's environmental impact. Critics often focus on emissions per flight, while Boeing prefers to look at emissions per passenger or per ton of cargo. Depending on which number you use, the 747 can seem either like a problem or a reasonable solution for high-demand routes. Some experts believe the truth is somewhere in the middle. Yes, the 747 will never be as green as the smallest planes, but it can still be a part of the industry's shift to cleaner flying, especially if airlines use it efficiently and combine it with sustainable aviation fuels. Boeing has also hinted that the new 747 could be compatible with future hydrogen or hybrid engine technology, though that's still years away. And while the environmental debate rages on, world politics just threw the 747 a lifeline no one expected. In recent years, tensions between countries have affected trade routes, flight patterns, and even what kind of planes airlines choose to fly. Some regions have seen their airspaces restricted because of political disputes. When airlines are forced to avoid certain areas, flights often end up taking longer routes. Longer flights mean airlines need planes with huge range and fuel capacity, and the 747 has both. And this makes it a valuable tool for airlines that need to connect cities without stopping for refueling. There's also the issue of military and government transport. Certain countries want aircraft that can move a large number of people or heavy cargoes in one trip, especially during emergencies. The 747 is perfect for that. Some governments have even ordered special 747s for strategic purposes, not just as VIP planes, but as backup transport for troops, aid supplies, or evacuation missions if needed. In addition, global instability has made some regions rely more on fewer but larger flights. Instead of running multiple smaller planes through risky or politically sensitive areas, airlines sometimes prefer one large aircraft that can handle the job in one go. This is safer, cheaper, and easier to manage. Cargo is also affected by geopolitical shifts. When certain shipping routes get blocked, like during conflicts or trade sanctions, air cargo becomes the fastest way to move goods. The 747's ability to carry oversized shipments makes it especially useful in these situations. Even international alliances have played a role. For example, some airline partnerships are looking at sharing long-haul routes, meaning they'll pull passengers into fewer but bigger flights. And that's where the 747 fits perfectly. Another big reason the Boeing 747 is back has nothing to do with regular airline passengers. It's the luxury and VIP market. For the world's richest people, certain governments, and private companies, the 747 isn't just transportation. It's a flying palace. Private 747s aren't new, but in recent years, demand for ultra-luxury aircraft has grown. Wealthy individuals and royal families want planes that can travel anywhere in the world without stopping, while offering the same comfort as a five-star hotel. The 747's massive interior makes it perfect for custom designs. Think private bedrooms, conference rooms, dining halls, lounges, and even gyms. Some governments also use 747s as official state aircraft. The most famous example is Air Force One in the United States, but many other countries have similar setups. These planes are heavily modified with advanced communication systems, security features, and luxury cabins for leaders and their teams. This market is small in terms of the number of planes, but huge in terms of money. A single VIP 747 order can be worth hundreds of millions of dollars, sometimes even more depending on customization. And that's why Boeing takes these deals seriously. Even if commercial airlines aren't ordering many, VIP sales alone can make the production worthwhile. Luxury charter companies are also part of this picture. Some rent out private 747s for high-profile events, sports teams, or even world tours for celebrities. These clients are willing to pay a premium for privacy, security, and comfort. Interestingly, this high-end demand helped keep the 747 alive when it seemed close to disappearing. Boeing knew that even if passenger airlines moved to smaller planes, there would still be a market for large, luxurious aircraft among those who could afford them. But what if I told you Boeing isn't just chasing rich clients? They've got a secret master plan that could keep the 747 ruling the skies for decades. Yeah, Boeing knows that the aviation industry works in cycles. Trends change, fuel prices shift, and global demand for air travel keeps growing. Right now, smaller twin-engine jets dominate, but in certain markets, big planes like the 747 are starting to make sense again. Boeing wants to be ready for that shift. One big part of their plan is flexibility. The new 747 can be built for passengers, cargo, or a mix of both. This means Boeing can sell the same basic aircraft to very different customers, airlines, freight companies, and governments, without creating entirely new designs. That saves them money and makes production more efficient. Boeing is also thinking long-term about emerging markets. Countries in Africa, South America, and parts of Asia are building new airports and expanding their airlines. So, what do you think? Is this the smartest move Boeing's ever made, or just pure nostalgia? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this, make sure you check out our next video. It's even crazier!